Welcome to eDay25. Today is Wednesday. There are two warm-up problems I would like you to try on your own reviewing multiplication. Remember, I need to see all work for multiplication, and on your exam, we will make it so calculator is not helpful by adding in variables. So I want you right now to go ahead and try these two problems, see how you do, and then come back and check the video. Pause the video now. Welcome back. These are the two answers. I hope you did okay with them. If not, make sure you touch base with me. So the next thing we're going to work on today is the determinant. Every square matrix has a real number called the determinant. A square matrix really means it's a size 2 by 2, 3 by 3, or 4 by 4, etc., where the dimensions are square. We will do 2 by 2 and 3 by 3 by hand, and I will also show you how to do it on the calculator. Your homework has to be done by hand. On the exam, we use variables, which means your calculator will not be helpful. The key is that your answer that you get is just a real number. It's just a number. It's no longer a matrix, and they call that the determinant. There's two ways they write determinants. So sometimes they'll say determinant of matrix A. Other times they use kind of like these absolute value bars, but it's not absolute value. I want you to recognize the idea that if they don't use directions that say find the determinant, or that it don't have the DET in front, that this notation also means find the determinant. Determinant of 2 by 2s is fairly easy. We are going to multiply the downs, and then we're going to subtract, and then we're going to multiply the ups, so B times C. So I always tell myself, and I'll say this every time, it's down minus the ups. So here is an example. Here's the downs, 5 times 3. Then they have their subtraction sign, and then they multiply the ups, negative 1 times 2. 5 times 3 is 15. And then it's minus a negative 2, which turns into plus 2 equals 17. Let's go ahead and try these next ones. Notice the directions. Find the determinant. Well, we are going to do downs. 13 times negative 6 is negative 78. And then we're going to minus the ups. 2 times 0 is 0. And when you simplify, you get the real number, negative 78. For the next one, here they're using the vocabulary that says DET. So that's kind of a hint. They're saying find the determinant. We are going to do downs. Negative 2 times negative 5 is positive 10. Then we minus the ups. 3 times 4 is 12. And that simplifies to negative 2. Now, order matters when you multiply, so make sure you always do downs minus ups. Next one. Here's what we do on the exam is we throw a variable in. Your calculator is absolutely no help. So please keep that in mind that you want to do these homework assignments by hand. There are no directions. It doesn't say anything. We, in the past, have had a problem like this on your exam. There's no directions that say find the determinant. There is no DET. You need to know that this means find the determinant. Make a note to yourself. Put a little star right here, because every year I have people on the quiz day come up to me and say, what does this mean? And I can't tell them. So we're going to do our downs, multiply those to get 4, minus, and then we're going to multiply the ups, negative 2. Oops, negative 2x. And we're going to simplify that just to be 4 plus 2x. Now here, there's an equal sign. They also don't say find the determinant, but this notation is your hint that they want you to find the determinant. So downs, 3x times 4 is 12x. Then we're going to subtract our ups. 8 times negative x is negative 8x. And now we're going to say it equals 10. When we simplify this, we get 20x equals 10. Getting x by itself, divide by 20, and x equals 1/2. Now we're going to work with a 3 by 3 determinant. Here's the plan. First thing we have to do is repeat, or let me start off by saying this is the matrix they give you. This is all you're going to see. This other stuff would not even be here. Okay, so like this stuff really is not even here. When they say find the determinant, what you're going to do is you're going to repeat the first 2 rows. Then the next thing is downs minus ups. So downs minus the ups. So watch this. -3 times 0 times 1 is 0. -1 times 1 times 2 is -2. 1 times 2 times -4 is -8. You sum those up and they'll give you -10. Now the ups. 2 times 0 times 1 is 0. -1 or -4 times 1 times -3 is 12. 1 times 2 times -1 is -2. Sum those up and then do downs minus ups to get -20. So let's go ahead and try this next one. For this next one, let's first repeat the first 2 rows. I would write nice and neat so things are lined up correctly. Okay, so now I'm going to set up my downs. Oops. I'm going to write this below. So down minus the ups. So our downs, 1 times 0 times 8 is 0. Then we're going to add to it the next one. 5 times 0 times 1 is 0. -3 times -2 is +6 times 4 is 24. Then we're going to minus, and I'm going to start with my ups. -1 times 0 times -3 is 0. Then my next one, 4 times 0 times 1 is 0. And then 8 times -2 times 5 is -80. Simplifying, we get 24 minus a -80, which is 104. For this next problem, I'd really like it if you tried it on your own. So please pause this video and see how you do with it. All right, I'm going to write down the answer. We end up with the determinant of 10. This next problem, we have an equal sign. Notice they don't tell you to find the determinant. You need to know that that's what it means. And it equals 2x. Well, what I'm going to do, because I have the iPad, is I'm going to erase this equals 2x for right now so I can get organized for rewriting my rows. So I'm going to rewrite that first one going down, and then that second one going down. Later, maybe I'll rewrite to myself, hey, it's going to be equal to 2x so I don't forget about it. So now we have downs minus the ups. And let's see how we do. So 6x times 5 times -1, that would be -30x. The next one, 2 times 3 times x, is 6x. And then 0 times 1 times 2 is 0. Working in the other direction, x times 5 times 0 is 0. 2 times 3 is 6, and 6 times 6x is positive 36x. And then negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. All right, let's do a little simplifying, see what this turns out to be. So negative 30x plus 6x is negative 24x. Then we're going to minus, and make sure, think of it as like distributing that negative sign. So minus 36x and then plus 2 equals our 2x. All right, simplifying, let's see. That looks like it's negative 60x plus 2 equals 2x. If I add 60 to the other side, I get 62x. Divide by 62, and x is 1 over 31. Now the next thing we have is an application. It's going to be helping us find the area of a triangle with vertices. Now notice, basically they're just taking the vertices and writing them next to each other, and then putting ones in that last row, or last column. In front, there's a 1/2, probably because you're remembering area of a triangle is 1/2, base times height. And then they use a plus or minus. Area should always be positive, so we're going to take whatever makes this problem positive in the end. So here's an example to keep you, help you focus. There's my first coordinate. Here's my second coordinate. Here's my third coordinate. Then they put ones along that last column. And from there, we have to find the determinant. So they're going to do the downs minus the ups, and that gave them negative 20. Then they're going to multiply by 1/2, and they're going to take whichever sign makes it positive in the end. So you could almost think of it like an absolute value. So half of negative 20 is negative 10, but we need it to be positive in the end. So let's go ahead and try one of these problems, area of the triangle. So first off, I want you to write your ordered pairs. We have 0, 2, 3, 1, 0, 0. And then we're going to just write ones along that last column. We have to find the determinant. Remember, when you find the determinant, you have to repeat those first 2 rows. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm try to write nice and organized and neat here. So 0, 3, 0, 2, 1, 0. So downs minus the ups. So my downs, I have 0, another 0, and another 0. We really love problems that have 0 in it. And now we're going to multiply by the ups. So we got 0. Makes life much easier. 0 times anything is 0 again. And then finally we get a number. 1 times 3 times 2 is 6. So downs minus the ups, well, these all are 0. These are 0. And so we really have negative 6. Now remember, our formula for area is plus or minus the 1/2 in front. So we found the determinant, so it's plus or minus 1/2 times negative 6. Take whichever sign will lead it to a positive final answer, and half of 6 is 3. I'm going to show you on the calculator how to do matrices, but I'm going to do that in a second video because my calculator, I have to turn the screen and you'll be looking at it sideways. It doesn't switch in a video if I'm starting in a different direction. So I'm going to show you how to do it on the calculator. So you're good, if you're good for that lesson, your homework is here. You have find the determinant, downs minus ups. I need to see for these, you repeating your rows, downs minus ups. Here you have equal signs where you're solving, and then 2 triangle problems. Remember, I need to see the work for this. I'm going to show you how to do the calculator, but remember, homework is done by hand.